Traders are getting it wrong. Everyone's obsessed with technicals, the fundamentals, chart patterns. They're stuck looking at the carrot dangling in front of them and trying to get rich quick. But let me tell you the reality. 99% of you watching this video will fail at trading. And it's not because the strategy you've learned don't work, but because you've never actually trained your mind. Now, here's a secret about the top 1% of traders that nobody tells you. They respond instead of react. And if you don't understand the difference between responding and reacting, you'll remain average just like everyone else. Now, before we get any further, if you didn't think your mental game is important in trading, get off the video. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time. I'm Evan Marks. I've spent almost 25 years trading on Wall Street. I work with brilliant traders, guys who could read a chart like a book. But I've also seen those same guys blow up their accounts. Why? Because when the markets move against them, their brain hijacks them. Science shows that your nervous system is built to protect you and not to perform. It's designed for survival, as in fight or flight. It works great when you're running away from an animal. But in trading, that same system actually destroys you. So what's actually happening when you react? Listen, when the pressure hits and you see that spike against your position, your emotional brain takes over first. Your limbic system fires before the logical part of your brain even gets a chance to think. That's why you can't think straight in those moments. You lie to yourself and tell yourself that you're in control, right? But you're really not, because your emotions are. And this happens in just a split second. You don't even realize it's happening until after you've already hit that button. In that loop, and those feelings of reacting, losing, and feeling like garbage all bleed into the next trade. But the sad part is, most traders think their mistakes are a discipline problem. It's not. It's emotional. And nobody wants to face that reality. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's ego. Maybe your whole identity is wrapped up in being right. Whatever it is, that's what's burning through your time and money, not just your strategy. Successful traders have trained themselves to catch that moment before it hijacks them. They learn to respond instead of react, and that's the advantage. So what's the difference between reacting and responding? Well, reacting is automatic. It's unconscious, and it's your nervous system taking over. Responding, on the other hand, it's intentional. It's completely conscious, and it's you staying in control. Let me give you an example. You're in a trade and it moves against you. You start to feel that tightness in your chest. Your palms become sweaty, and your brain's telling you, get out now. If you react, you close the position immediately, completely on impulse. But if you respond, you pause, you take a breath, and ask yourself, is this trade still valid? Does my stop make sense? Or am I just scared? That little pause right there is the gap between reacting and responding. And that gap is also where the 1% live. Now, here's the thing. You can't create that gap by willpower alone. You have to train your nervous system to down-regulate in real time while you're in the heat of the moment. And that's called emotional regulation in the world of mental performance training. It's the ability to feel the emotion, like the fear, the frustration, the greed, and not let it hijack your behavior. You have to feel it, acknowledge it, and then choose your response. That's what mastery is. So let me ask you this. What's stopping you from beginning to learn how your brain actually works so you can become a consistent and effective trader? Because you can train the way you react under pressure right now, just like you trained yourself to read a chart. Science proves that your brain changes through repetition. Your strategy works, sure, but if your mind isn't trained to handle the pressure, when the market moves against you, none of this matters. So the real question isn't whether you know enough about trading, it's whether you've trained your brain to perform when it actually matters. And if you haven't, you're leaving everything on the table. So how do you actually train this? How do you stop reacting and start responding? I'm gonna give you the exact 5-step process I teach traders that manage millions, if not billions of dollars. And it's called the 60-second stress reset. Step 1, acknowledge and name the emotion. When you feel that spike of fear or that sudden rush of greed, label it. Literally. Say it to yourself, this is anxiety, or I'm angry right now. Because naming the emotion activates your prefrontal cortex and calms your emotional brain. It creates distance, softens the surge, and prevents you from being hijacked by it. Step 2, slow down and deepen your breath. Take 3 slow belly breaths. Inhale deeply into your diaphragm, then exhale fully. This stimulates your vagus nerve and activates your parasympathetic nervous system. It lowers your heart rate, blood pressure, and your stress hormones in seconds. You can't think clearly when your body's in fight or flight, and this brings you back. Step 3, notice the impulse, then pause. First, catch the urge to react, count to 3, then take 1 breath. This stops the emotional hijack, gives your executive brain space to engage, and breaks the trigger to reaction loop, creating space for conscious choice. Step 4, choose a conscious response. Ask yourself, what response aligns with my goals here? What's the right move? Instead of an autopilot reaction, you take intentional control, which keeps your integrity, clarity, and strategy intact. Step 5, recenter on control with intention. Remind yourself, I control my actions, my words, my mindset. I lead with poise. And focus on what you can control. This reduces stress and builds resilience. You're leading through the pressure instead of just trying to survive it each time. This entire process takes 60 seconds, maybe less. But remember, this takes repetition. You don't master this in a day. You master it through practice every single day. And if you're not serious enough to stay consistent, then this isn't for you. And every time you do it, you're rewiring your brain. You're training yourself to respond instead of react. That's the hidden edge that everyone overlooks. Now, what most traders don't realize is that this isn't something you can put off. Every trade you take right now is either reinforcing the right habits or the wrong ones. There's no neutral ground. If you're reacting today, you're just training your brain to react tomorrow. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to break this cycle. The market doesn't care how smart you are, how many books you've read, or how many hours you put in. If you can't control your behavior under pressure, none of that matters. So the question is, how much longer are you willing to stay there? Listen, everything I just shared with you is just the surface. If you're serious about becoming a consistent and profitable trader, and you want to be a part of that top 1%, you need a system, structure, and more importantly, accountability. That's why I created the M1 Mental Trading Academy. It's a 6-week intensive program where I coach you through building a strong mental foundation for trading. Our next cohort starts May 1st, and we'll cover intuition over impulsivity, aggressive patience, nervous system regulation, and everything you need in order to leverage your game. And this isn't theory. I've used this with hundreds of elite traders I coach, and we get consistent results with it. If you're ready to stop wasting time and money and want to start trading like a professional, click the link below and sign up for the Academy. But spots are limited. I only work with traders who are serious about this. So if that is you, click the link below and let's build your mental edge.